My name is Esther East, and I'm the director of the Jewish Family Service. And you've already heard from me if you've been following this video series that we put together in honor of the 9 days. But we changed the format to recognize the fact that the community is reeling from the loss of Rabbi Berkowitz, and that of all the times when we need to find sources of comfort, which was the aim of this series from Jewish Family Service, now we need it more than ever. So I'd like to just review with people from the community who may have the occasion to turn on this particular video some things that we've learned about grief. And grief has been studied for years by psychologists, the most famous of whom was Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. And she talked about the 5 stages of grief that probably all of you know so well. Denial. Can't believe that this has happened. It's not tolerable. Anger, rage at the fact that this person, thing, belief, activity, the thing we held the most dear in life is wrested from us. We're filled with rage. 3rd stage, bargaining. You start making a deal. If only I had been better. If only I began doing something differently, this wouldn't happen. If only I had not said that word, then my beloved wouldn't have left me. Bargaining and bargaining, trying to change the fate that we find intolerable. Depression, as we begin to accept we can't change this. We feel overwhelming sadness. And finally, acceptance. These were the 5 stages that Elizabeth Kubler-Ross discussed. And then her student and colleague, Dr. Kessler, added the final 6th stage, finding meaning. He talked about that because he knew that there was more than just accepting to help people heal from grief. So what am I saying to you as you are reeling and suffering and struggling? First and foremost, all of us are already in a state of grief because of the current pandemic that we are living through. The pandemic represents the collective loss of everything that was known and familiar to us as a community. Who knows if we will ever return to feeling safe, trusting our neighbors, trusting the world. We've lost the capacity and the opportunity to have meals together, to hug people. Many of us have lost friends and family who have literally been taken without any of the rituals around grief. So we're all grieving, all trying to come to terms with this, angry, bargaining, accepting. Everyone's going through this. And then when you add to that the loss of a cherished member of the community, a beloved person, there's no space inside of us to find the normal ways of dealing with that. How do we find comfort when we're empty inside? And the only way is to look to each other and say, I feel the pain that you're feeling, and you let me know that you understand the pain that I am feeling. Most importantly, do not hide from your feelings of grief. If you don't feel it, you can't heal it. famous statement. And be compassionate with yourself and with everyone around you. And say, no one else knows how I grieve. For one person, it can be sitting alone in the dark with your thoughts. For another, it can be cleaning the house. For another, it can be running. Every one of us has a different way of dealing with this. And asking to find meaning, that's down the road. First and foremost, allow yourself the feeling of grief. Meaning is what you say, what did this person who is no longer here, what did he give me? What legacy is there that I take and I make into something meaningful? It's not the fact of the loss that gives meaning. It's what you do with it. So I hope that these thoughts will give you some framework to look at what we're all experiencing today, and that we can continue to be a resource to one another in the days ahead. Thank you.